Hello, my name is Zach. I'm the technical co-founder at Orator Technology, which is a ESL platform for teachers. Um, and we're requesting access to this scope here, which is the classroom profile emails. So teachers, when they go on, are able to automatically roster their students from their classrooms, which in our teacher meetings and with a lot of the districts that we've been working with has been a big concern. A lot of them use platforms like Clever or Schoology, but typically that feature is something that at the moment is out of our price range. So we have also found that a lot of them are willing to use Google Classrooms for rostering as well, because generally we found that many of them use both and a lot of them only use Google Classrooms. So the reason that we need to use the emails is because for our site, we require users to have emails for recovering passwords and for receiving teacher notifications about new assignments. We don't send any promotional emails, and at the moment, we really don't send any emails, but we do plan in the future, if we're able to get this, to be able to allow teachers to notify students optionally about new assignments, because that's also been a requested feature. So I'll show you exactly how we plan on using it now. So you can sign in from Google, and I've already approved all the scopes in the consent screen, which is why it's not showing here. And I have this class here. This is here. I'll go into it, and you can see it's connected to this Google Classroom, which is just a test classroom that I made. So from here, teachers with our current setup have two options. One, they can add students that are already part of their district. Students will automatically be added to their district if they sign in through an SSO like Clever or Schoology, uh, or if they just input their district code when they sign in with Orator. And while that works, we found that teachers are generally not satisfied with that, because even if all the students are created, they would still have to go into each individual classroom and add the students that they want to add for each of them, and it ends up taking a decent amount of time. And it's honestly been one of the primary concerns that teachers have had with using our application. So we've implemented a rostering solution with Google Classrooms that um, it is a good start, but the issue is that without emails, the only way that we can validate that a like who a student is and create the account automatically for the teacher is to have their emails, because again, that's a required uh, scope for creating an account in Orator. So if I go to create students now, I can import from Google, and we have access to the class roster with just the basic student information, the first name, last name, and their user ID on Google. Um, that only gets us part of the way. So now I have a test student in one of my accounts who is in the Google Classroom, but in this scenario is one who would not have at the moment signed into Orator with Google. So if I try to import this roster from Google and it's just the one student, I get their name, and then the teacher would just have to fill out their email, username, or password. For one student is simple enough, but like, as you would all know, teacher who can have multiple classrooms, multiple teachers in the district, um, really don't want to be spending their time of the day filling all this out. And even like we've tried to streamline it by allowing them to import the rosters from CSVs, but at the end of the day, this is really just what they've been requesting, is to be able to automatically generate these accounts without having students go on and sign in through Google. So if we did have the email, we would be able to automatically add the student to the classroom. Um, and I could show you exactly what that would look like. So if a student were to log in through their Google account. Then now our Orator account is synced with the Google account for the limited scopes that we have. So if I log back in with my teacher account through Google, and I go to add students, now if I were to import from Google, it would take that user and add them to my classroom. And now you can see that user shows up. So in this case, what we have now works for us, but really the big issue here is, districts, tens, hundreds, thousands of students, they're really going to want to not have students manually make their accounts, is one of the primary concerns. And the other is just, if you have multiple classrooms, you really don't want to have to, keep going in and manually adding the students. So if we were able to just get their email, the students would have to do nothing on their end, and the teacher would just have to click that import from Google button, and when they do so, automatically it would create any accounts that don't exist and sync any accounts that do exist. So for this purpose mainly, and for sending notifications about new assignments, is really the entire reason that we are asking for just specifically this auth classroom profile email scope. And we hope that you will consider and approve our request. Thank you very much for your time. Consent screen that users will see when they log in with Google. Manage coursework, see and edit coursework, view rosters, and then we would have, in addition, the viewing rosters emails, if this is approved. Now let's see what it looks like with the consent screen. Here are all the scopes, managing coursework, because we're an ESL platform and teachers need to be able to sync their assignments with the Google Classroom so they can have a centralized gradebook location. Same reason here, they need to be able to update grades and add questions, add assignments. They need to view the rosters for our custom rostering that we've already described. They need to view the classes so they know what classes they have access to, so when they create a classroom in Orator, they can sync it up to the appropriate one. We need their email address to connect their Orator account to their Google account when they sign in /sign up.